morning to all the class 7 students. Today we are going to discuss about our physics chapter, which is your motion and time. That is your chapter number 12, which we are going to discuss. So to begin with, we will begin with what is motion. Motion is what? When you are changing your position with respect to time, that is called as your motion. That means change of position with respect to time is called as your motion. Motion is classified into many types. There are rotatory motion, circular motion, periodic motions, and so on. There are many types of motion. Depending on the way how it moves, that then it will be classified. If it is a random motion, if the body is moved from here and there, that kind of motion is called as a random motion. So there is various types of motion. Next is what we have to discuss about the relations between distance and time. What do we mean by distance and then time? Distance is nothing but the length covered by a body is called in a particular time, that is called as a distance. So in order to measure that speed, we have to know the distance as well as the time. So the relations between distance and time is that speed is equal to distance traveled by the time taken by a body. So speed is measured in terms of distance traveled, and then you have to divide it by the time taken by a body to cover that distance. So speed is nothing but the distance traveled by a body in per unit time. So in a particular time, what will be the distance traveled by a body? That will be the speed of that object. So then this is the speed formula, or you can say relation between distance and time. From this formula, you will be able to determine even the distance also and time also. When speed is given and then time is given and distance is not given, then you will be able to calculate distance as equal to speed into time. Similarly, if time is not given and speed and distance is given, then you will be able to calculate even time also. So only one formula will be applicable for both calculating speed, distance as well as time also. When two factors are given and the third factor is not given, you will be able to calculate easily by just simply putting the values and then multiplying and dividing it. So this is the relation between distance and time. After talking about the relation between distance and time, we have to talk about uniform motion and non-uniform motion. What do we mean by uniform motion and non-uniform motion? Uniform motion is what? When a body covers equal distance in equal intervals of time, then that is called as a uniform motion. And non-uniform motion is when a body is not covering equal distance in equal interval of time, then that kind of motion is called as a non-uniform motion. After this, we have to what? Give times and its measurement. How can we calculate time and measurement? In the ancient period, there was no such clock as today we have to calculate the time. That means we have a digital clock is there, then analog clock is also available for calculating the time, then second clock is also available for a fast calculation, which gives a very accurate measurement of the time. In ancient times, there were no such devices which were applicable for calculating the time. So what were those devices which were used for calculating time? We are discussing here. Some of the devices were sand clock, sundial, water clock, simple pendulum. So sand clock is what? We have known that sand clock is what? When it will be a glass bottle will be there, and then sand will be fitted there, and just you have to rotate that sand, and then all the sand when it settles down, then the time has been covered. So sand clock is used for measuring just a competitive period when a person is given a fixed time that you have to complete a particular time within this period. That kind of measurement in that period sand clock was used. Even water clock was based on that. Drip of the water was fallen down on another container, then a single drop of the water was calculated as a second, 1 second, 2 seconds, and like that after 60 seconds 1 minute was calculated. So that was the measurement of water clock. Then after all this, and then sundial. Depending upon the sun, the shadows, different shadows were formed, and from that shadows time was calculated, different times were calculated. So from the sun also time was calculated. Now after all these inventions, we have the simple pendulum. That was the latest invention of the to measure the time. It was a very, and that one simple pendulum still now in use of that. So simple pendulum is what? It is just a pendulum in which a rod is there and a string is there, and it will oscillate from one position to the another position, and again it will return to the mean position. That kind of motion is called as your, or that kind of device is called as your simple pendulum, and the motion is called as your oscillatory motion. So simple pendulum can be made by suspending a thread metal bob from a cotton thread. The time taken by the pendulum to complete one such oscillation is the time period of the pendulum. So the time taken to complete one oscillation is the time period of the pendulum. So in this way, time was measured by the use of sundials, water clocks, sand clocks, simple pendulums. This were the, and on the basis of all these principles, today's watch, analog watch and digital watch are invented and through which we used to calculate the time. Now, the last topic is about our graph. How to graphs and how to plot the graph. This is the last point of your discussion. So graph is what? Basically graph is what? It is a mathematical relationship between two physical quantities. That means either it be distance or time, distance or speed or time or whatever is so. So it is a graphical mathematical relationship between two quantities. Graph is of three many types. Among them we have discussed all the three types. One is the line graph, bar graph and the pie chart. So these are three graphs, that is line graph, bar graph and pie chart, which is discussed in your chapter. So line graph means what? When a person has covered equal distance, equal interval of time, we can draw a straight line. That kind of a line can be drawn over a line graph. Then we have to plot the population density, we can draw a bar graph, and then even to calculate the percentages of different population or employees working in different fields and so on, pie chart can be used to calculate the percentage and number of employees and so on. Pie charts are used. Next we will be seeing about how to plot a graph on the x-axis as well as on the y-axis. So now we are seeing how to plot a graph between x-axis and the y-axis. In order to plot a graph, first we have to draw two lines we have to draw in this manner. One you will be drawing in the vertical ways and the other one you will be drawing in the horizontal ways. The vertical ways will be containing a y-axis and the horizontal one will be containing your x-axis. That means two lines along the x-axis and along the y-axis. Then the given measurement will be taken along the x-axis and along the y-axis. Along the x-axis we have taken time and along the y-axis we have taken distance. So along the x-axis the time is 1, 2, that is 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds and so on. And along the y-axis the distance is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 meter and so on. When these measurements are given in a tabular form, you do the graph in this way and draw line along the y-axis and along the x-axis and plot the points on the graph. So the first point, when an object has covered in 0 time, the object will be covering 0 distance, and then when it has reached 1 second, then the object will be covering 10. Here in this is the what? 10 seconds. So in 10 meter has been covered in 1 second. Similarly, we will be taking what? 2 seconds. In 2 seconds, 20 meter has been covered by a body. Then in 3 seconds, 30 meter has been covered. In 4 seconds, 40 meter has been covered. So in that way, we will see what in 1 second, what would be the distance measured. So you have to keep here 10, then 2, then here you have to see and then 2. Again here you have to see and then 2. So then this one like the way we have to plot it. And then after plotting it, you will join all the lines and draw the graph. Or either it will be a straight line will be obtained or it can be a little bit curved line also where it will be a non-uniform motion. Here we have plotted a uniform motion. This is a uniform motion graph. So this graph is a uniform motion graph. In this way you can plot a graph on a graph paper and then you will be observing what kind of motion is that, whether it is a uniform motion and then non-uniform motion. The scale which you have to write is here. Scale along the x-axis 1 unit is equal to 1 second and along the y-axis 1 unit is equal to 10 meter. So this is all about your chapter number 10, motion and time. Watch the video thoroughly and then even go to your book very nicely so that you will have a very clear concept about motion and time. Thank you.